Hello everyone, this is Thursday, July 14, 2022 and this is the Hindu Daily Edition. So first we will be identifying the most important news followed by a detailed analysis for the same. Okay. So on first page we have this news: cannot impose omnibus ban on demolition. Says Supreme Court will be doing it very briefly, and apart from that, let's see this one. Gender gap index important, will be doing it completely. Okay. After that we didn't had any news on these pages, and okay, let's see if we can have something here on these pages. Okay, in the editorial section we'll be doing staying watchful and this India Korea bilateral partnership. Just know that it may become the fourth pillar in New Delhi Indo-Pacific strategy, so we'll be doing this thing, this one, Indo-Pacific outlook, and maybe the US factor and North Korea, maybe if required. Okay, nothing here at all on text and context page, just the gist for this. Okay, and here nothing is here. I don't see any question coming from here. Okay, there is nothing here. Just know this thing, that Supreme Court has said that assessing juvenility is a delicate task. Okay, we cannot say directly that some person is juvenile or not. Okay, it requires meticulous psychological investigation. Okay, we'll do this. What is this white center saying this thing? We'll do this. We'll do this. Okay, we'll do this. What is this I2 U2? It's something new. Obviously we were expecting this, so this is in the trend only. CPI in USA is 9.1%. Okay, so I don't see here on the sports page. We don't have much news. Okay, regarding our examination. Fine, so let's go on to analyze the same. Okay, so here we go on the third page. On the first page, obviously, cannot impose omnibus ban on demolition, says High Court. It reiterates rule of law can't be ignored. The Supreme Court Wednesday wondered whether it can pass omnibus orders to stop demolition by municipal authority across the country, even if senior advocate Dushyant Dave insisted that nation should refuse to accept bulldozer culture. Objected to Mr. Dave's submission that demolition targeted a certain community. On June 16, the court told the government that demolition could happen only in accordance with the law and could not be retaliatory. On Wednesday, said all communities are Indian community. We cannot have a community-based PILs. In Supreme Court, Mr. Dave asked why then the authority had not taken bulldozer to unauthorized construction and farmhouses of some of the possessed colony of the capital. Entire Sainik farm is illegal. Are we not all governed by the rule of law? He asked. Next hearing in August. Nobody can dispute the rule of law. That rule of law cannot be ignored. But so use this term rule of law often when in administration question. Okay. So my suggestion is to use this term rule of law in questions of administration. Fine. Okay, fine. Let's see. India ranks 135 of 146 in gender gap index. Worst performer in world in health and survival sub-index, report says. According to Globe. So our rank is 135 out of 146 in, okay, released by WEF. 4 sub-indices are the economic participation and opportunity, educational attainment, health and survival, political empowerment. Okay, we have the best rank here, political empowerment. The global, and we are health and survival, we have performed worst. Okay, we are at the last. But why did they kept us last? Let's see. Okay, says it will now take 132 years to reach gender parity, with the gap reducing only by 4 years in 2021 and gender gap closed by 68.1%. But this does not compensate for the generalization loss between 2020 and 2021, as trends leading up to 2020 showed that gender gap was set to close within 100 years. India ranked poorly among its neighbor. Okay, global gender gap benchmark gender parity across 4. These are the dimensions. Okay. Okay, but why did they did this? Why did they give last rank to India in health and survival? We have done good in pandemic management. It has been great having such a level of population. I think it is just based on the quantitative data that high mass there, but percentage was low. Okay, just remember that thing. Nothing here on these pages. We do editorial at last. Okay, there is only one editorial. Let's do it here only. Staying watchful. So it is related to the obviously yesterday's remarks of the RBI governor. Inflation risk undermining growth and macroeconomic stability. The concerted effort made by RBI and Union government to contain inflation appears to have some impact, albeit marginal, in showing pace of price gain. Okay, slowing pace of price gain. The latest retail inflation data shows price gain can be measured by CPI eased almost imperceptibly to 7.01% in June from May's 7.04%, with food price inflation showing up a distinct 22 basis point to 7.75%. 12 item comprising a food and beverages basket, almost half the weight of CPI. The price of pulse and edible oil both shrank from a month earlier. Price of the key cooking medium, etc. Okay, have cooled. Okay, so price of key cooking medium have cooled, helped by import duty reduction. Okay, positive sign of policy measure translating into softer price of transportation fuels. Fine. Still, it would be too premature for policymakers to drop their guard, with 9 out of 12 items in the food and beverage basket representing almost 80% of the sub-index and spanning cereal, milk, meat, vegetables, sugar, etc. The government would need to maintain vigil to ward off any build-up of inflationary pressure in consumers' kitchen. Year-on-year inflation in cereal and meat and all accelerated in June from May pace, and price gain in vegetable is still remembered in double digit, and all those things are there. Okay, what does it want to say? The decision of GST Council to raise tariff is also bound to add upward pressure on the price of. Okay, fine. It is saying that. Let me explain you. Let me have some space. Yes, look, pricing in or macroeconomic stability. Okay, I'll talk about macroeconomic stability only. Okay, it dependent on two things: monetary policy, or say MP. Okay, and fiscal policy, say FP. What is MP? It is generally guided by RBI guidelines, and it is generally done by government. So what was the problem? Let's take one of the indicator as inflation. Okay, inflation can be both core and headline. Okay, so in core inflation or any inflation you take, So what has been done? RBI, okay, repo increased, so policy risk has been increased, and to arrest money, those what with dollar bringing made easy, okay, etc. Fiscal policy have been done what? So this will do what? This will decrease rupee from economy. Fiscal policy has done what? Reduce taxes. Okay, main thing is this only: reduce taxes and increase government expenditure. Okay, this has done also what? Reduced rupees in economy. Okay, basically reduction of taxes will lead to, or say reduction in taxes will reduce overall money in the economy. So what will happen? Inflation controlled. This is the phenomena that they are talking about in the entire article. Okay, so they have given example for monetary policy, they have given example for fiscal policy, and now they are saying that okay, what had happened? GST on certain items have increased. That means IDT, indirect tax, has increased, which means more money, increased government money, which means increased government expenditure. And this would means what? This would means more money with public, or more money in the system, and more money in the system will lead to inflation. Okay, so this is saying this only, that although government is trying to do this, but this increase in GST, hike in GST rates in certain items can lead to inflationary pressure on the economy. This is what it is saying. You give it a read, you will understand. Okay, let's see this one. Indo-Pacific outlook: South Korea participation in additional maritime security activities, etc., etc., etc. Naval Pacific, Korea, Japan, South Korea were at loggerhead during the Moon Jae-in. Japan and South Korea were at loggerhead. There was little scope for strengthening trilateral security dialogue. The shift in South Korea policy will enable a strong India-South Korea Japan defense policy coordination that could effectively forge a new. Okay, give it a read. It's not important as such. I don't see it important. Maybe in internationalization we won't be getting this question directly for South Asia. For South Korea, it may give that for entire Indo-Pacific, or for India and this Japan South Korea section. Okay, so the Korean peninsula it will talk about, so you cannot even leave North Korea there. Okay, a light travels with velocity of 3 multiplied 10 to the power 8 meter per second. Light from a distant object will take time to reach us on Earth. Hence, when we see a distant stellar object, we see it as if it was far back in time. To collect more light, we need giant infrared telescope. Okay, James Watt telescope is the biggest infrared telescope ever built. The first 5 images released are the deep field image of this cluster of galaxy, which dates back to the time when the first stars were born. The Carina Nebula, vividly showing the birth of new star. Southern Ring Nebula, which details a dying star. A Stephen Quintet, which we can see the cataclysmic cosmic collision of galaxy. And finally WASP 96b, an exoplanet. So let's see. Okay, it's great. The spectroscopic observation reveals that there is considerable amount of water vapor in this exoplanet. However, due to blistering heat, it is unlikely to host life. Fine, look at this. This is 3 galaxies coming together to collide. So collision of galaxy. This is the exoplanet. Okay, birth of nebula, and all those things are there. Fine, let's move forward. Hold Uber accountable, take strict action, says union. Global leaks. What kind of leak? Pertaining to alleged unfair practices of the firm. Reacting to the global leaks pertaining to alleged illegal and unfair practices of ride hailing services Uber, the Indian Federation of App-based Transport Worker on Wednesday issued a statement calling for company to be held accountable and demanding strict. Oh, that is not union government. It is the Indian Federation of App-based Transport Worker. This union it is talking about, and I took it as the union government. That bro lock internationally put life of risk. Okay. Fine. Okay, so there has been leaks, and that leak is obviously they will say so that if there is a leak, then they would be saying the same thing. Okay, fine. India has achieved clean energy targets 9 years before the deadline. Have we? We have installed 162 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity. Let's see the tall claims. 9 years ahead of the schedule. Okay. 162 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity, which is 41% of 402 gigawatt electricity installed. So out of 400 gigawatts of installed capacity, okay, 400 gigawatt of installed capacity, how much we have of? There is 160 gigawatts of renewable energy, means 160 by 400 into 100, this is about 40%. 40% is this one. Okay, we have reached this target on November 21. Okay, and then we increase our target to 500 gigawatts of renewable energy. We are already at 160 and we want 500. 50% will be installed capacity, which would be then the 50% of installed capacity. Okay, so when it would be 500, today we have 400 gigawatt, so we are targeting 1000 gigawatt of installed capacity, out of which 500 gigawatts will be renewable energy. This is our target, 1000 gigawatts. Fine. Lowest per capita emission, we have invested in energy transition. Okay, fine. Let's see how he has made such tall claims. What is the basis of this tall claim? Okay, war has led to cartelization in the fossil fuel industry, and renewable energy promises to break such cartels. Fine, nothing but they have just made tall claims, but they have not given any proof. What a great thing. Is this how government works? Push for wider use of genomics in all countries. WHO report calls for plugging gap in financing infrastructure. The WHO's Science Council in its first report has called for accelerating access to genomics in the world. The report argues that it is not justifiable ethically or scientifically for countries with lesser resources to gain access to such technology long after rich countries do. Okay, so they are saying that there should not be any discrimination in accessibility based on economic condition. Okay, the field of genomics tries to use human genetic material to study and research cures, treatment for medical condition, and use it to in a wide range of applications in animal sciences, agriculture, etc. Right, expanding access. After WHO constituted the Science Council and all those things are there. Let's see. To expanding access to genomic technology, particularly to low and middle income countries. Okay, by financing and all those things. Fund function functionaries. FQ. Nothing that cost set up genomic technologies are definitely heading south, making them all more affordable and all those things. Okay, fine, I understand this thing now. Okay, so they are saying that this is the crux of this article. There should be no discrimination based on economic condition, and genomics means using of human genes. Field of genomics is to try human genetic material to study and research cures and treatment for medical condition. Okay, let's see if anything else is left on this. I think there was one more news. Yes, I2U2 can become a regional feature like Quad. The US believe that I2U2, a group comprising India, Israel, US and UAE. Okay, that one. Yes. Can become a feature of the West Asian region, just like Quad for Indo-Pacific. Is it? Maybe. The idea was articulated by US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan on board Air Force One en route to Israel. Okay, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is scheduled to meet virtually Mr. Biden in Israeli president, prime minister, and UAE president. And we think of I2U2 can become a feature of the broader region, just as Quad has become central pillar of the Indo-Pacific strategy of United States. Okay, his remarks were made in response to the question what objective was in bringing India into so many issues such as Indo-Pacific Economic Framework IP, EF and Quad. Look, to counter China, US need India. As if to counter Afghanistan, it needed what? It needed Pakistan. Fine, so it goes on like this. Okay. Fine, just read it. Look, one thing is certain. Any statement that US give, there would be a part that would be against China, against Russia and against China. Okay, so be prepared for this. That is irrelevant. Just know what is I2U2, India, Israel, US and UAE. Fine. And with this, I think, yes, we come to end of today's newspaper analysis. I hope you like it. If you like it, consider subscribing the channel, give it a like, share our work and comment. Okay. So with this, I am taking a part from you. Goodbye all. Tata. Best of luck. Study hard and Jai Hind. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.